What's going on, people? Welcome to my stream. Today's the last day of 2022. I got a great video for you guys. So next year is gonna be pretty awesome, considering the fact that we're gonna have to wake up in the morning, and I'll like to discuss my plays and my ideas and how everything will happen because we had a lot of activity the last week. We've seen things like Kala going up from like $3 up to $45. So a lot of people are very, 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 very interested in trading in 2023. So we're gonna go discuss all these stocks and discuss my trade plan and what I plan to do and how I can, help you guys out because you guys are basically don't know where to start. So this would be a great video for you. So let's put a quick disclaimer and get started. All right, so starting with 2023, we have the January effect, the most awesome time of the year in which you have a lot of things moving, especially in the first 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks of the year. We're going to see a lot of volatility. A lot of people are going to get wasted. They're going to get drunk. They're going to start trading. They're going to be excited. A lot of clearing the books and a lot of activity is going to be in the small cap market. The last 4 days, we've seen things like Kala go up from like $3 to like $45. And we've seen HOT going up from like $3 to $12. And I'm going to go break everything down. So what does that January effect mean? We're going to go discuss in my lovely webinar here to get you guys started and get you guys interested in trading small caps. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this a little bit over here. So first off, the January effect 2023. It starts obviously in 2023, and this is kind of like what it looks like. The January effect is a perceived seasonal increase in stock prices during the month of January. Analysts generally attribute this rally to an increase of buying, which follows the drop in price that typically happens in December when investors engage in tax loss harvesting and offset realized capital gains. So it's the most exciting time of the year in which a lot of stocks pretty much go wild. And we've seen a crazy activity in the small cap market last week. I think I was celebrating my 8K win on pretty much Friday, calling the top of a ticker, which was, I don't remember, was it POP? There was another ticker I traded, which we're going to get right into it. So first off, my strategy. My strategy is pretty simple. What I do recommend to you guys, I know a lot of people are broke, a lot of people don't have a job, a lot of people don't even have maybe $100 to their name. And I know times are rough, and but if you don't have $100, come on, you just need to first pay the rent and first eat, and then get ready for some excitement. So the strategy is pretty much pre-market buying. That is what I like to do. As you know, in many of my videos, I like to talk about pre-market buying. And basically, my broker to suggest is Trade Zero. Trade Zero is pretty good. I know I'm not affiliated with them. I just like the fact that they have 6 to 1. They have no minimums. And you can pretty much margin with a 200, 300 account, 6 to 1. They'll, on a $500 to $1,000 account, they'll give you 6 to 1. If you buy the right one, you can exponentially grow that crazy little tiny account to many exponential growth. I traded this stock. This was my bread and butter. Usually when I had no money, I wired like 1,000 or 2,000 during really hot season, like right now. And then I pretty much woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, especially I woke up during, we're going to go discuss that. I woke up early, I traded in the morning, I made a lot of money, and I like to discuss how all that is possible. So first off, we're going to talk about the broker. Obviously, the broker is very important. I also recommend Centerpoint, but those are for a lot of people that have 30K and speed traders that you can pretty much link up to your DAS trader. But if you're just broke and you're international, you can pretty much start a trade zero. And if you're in the United States, you can just start, you're limited to pattern day trading rule. That's cool. Start a second account with your mom's name, your dad's name, your brother's name. There's no excuse for not having day trades and not being able to make money. The problem is you because you have not studied. We're gonna go discuss, how to take advantage of this market. We've seen a lot of activity. Second off, I recommend using speed keys. In my YouTube stream, you can see how I set up my Dash Trader or my Trade Zero. If you don't know what to do with speed keys, that's fine. You can just click buy and sell, which is fine. The way I have it set up as a professional, I have Control 1 as my buy, Control Q as my exit, Control W 10 cents, Control Z to get the F out, Control Z to cancel, Control X to sell 5 cents below the bid, and to cancel the order I have Control Shift Z. These are like what I'm comfortable with. That you really do need to sell below the bid and to cancel last order just in case crap does not work out. Because sometimes some of these breakouts, if you do manage to use 6-to-1 leverage or 1 or 2-to-1 leverage, which as always, I only recommend doing this with a very tiny account. You pretty much gotta get in quickly, gotta get out if it doesn't work out, and you have to cancel the last order if the shit doesn't work out, and because not all of them are gonna work out, and if it doesn't work out, you have to have an emergency eject button. There's some that did not work out, and I was doing like 4-to-1, 5-to-1, 6-to-1, and I pretty much I was glad I had an emergency exit. So I have a quick speed key for in, quick speed key for out. So what kind of scanners I use? You can see my video how I find stocks using trade ideas. Basically, it comes down to pretty much my pre-market scanners, my midday scanners, and my OTC scanners, which are available for purchase right now in the link in the description below. I basically pretty much have a special trade idea settings which I input in my trade ideas, and we're going to go discuss that. How will this be beneficial to your trading journey? They're available for purchase, and the link is in the description below. And we have the pre-market top gainers and pre-market high of the day scanner. Right now, the strategy, we're looking at pre-market buy, and then I'm going to discuss and give you some example what has happened so far and what we expect to happen in the future. So I do recommend you guys, if you're an advanced student, you might as well just buy the $300 and get the settings for my pre-market scanner, because I put in a lot of work in this one, and you'll see just why this scanner is so important to me. When it's time to wake up. A lot of people wake up at 8 o'clock. I understand it's a slow season, maybe in September or October. Nothing's moving, and stocks are just moving when pretty much the bell rings. That has happened multiple times. So the way to do it during this time, especially in the first week of January, is pretty much to wake up early around 6:30 to 6:45. That is a regular day. That is a regular working day. And pretty much drink some coffee, a lot of coffee, and be wide awake. And you have to do the opposite. That's the reason I'm called an unusual trader, is because I make money really quickly, and I take advantage of a lot of volatility really quickly. And I also 6x or 4x with my Trade Zero account, in which I'm able to get in and out, and just in like 5, 6, 7 trades, you can make a quick 10 grand, starting with just $2,000, or sometimes it was $1,500. So I'm basically your cheat sheet to getting rich from a couple of trades to a couple of thousand to tens of thousands. I'm not saying 100,000, but you can scale this thing up. But this is the way to start. So a lot of people are lazy. A lot of people wake up at 8, and I've been guilty of that sometime. And I have been guilty last week, because lots of things moved last week, and I did not take full potential of it. And sometimes you're just burned out. Sometimes you get sick. And sometimes I actually have this in the beginning of December. So do not be this guy. Do not be this guy over here. Do not be this guy. The guy that wakes up at 9 o'clock and sleeps in be this guy that wakes up in the middle of the night at 6:45 and gets through the scanner, which I have provided for purchase in my trade ideas. Get your speed keys in, and that is pretty much what I do recommend. Next off, be really caffeinated by 7 a.m. New Year's Day, I know you're quitting coffee, but January 2nd is coming, which is Tuesday. Give me all the coffee you like. So during the first week of this year, there's going to be a lot of volatility, and this is where all the time that you spend reviewing my videos on YouTube and subscribing and seeing my videos and reviewing the courses is going to come in, and it's really going to pay out big, because we've seen some crazy movers, and we're going to discuss all those movers and how to take advantage of this. So I do recommend getting caffeinated for the season, which is a very good season, which I do expect this season to start next week. And caffeine is very important, but make sure you don't drink more than, actually I limit my coffee nowadays, but 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Once you go over, make sure you do not pass out because of heat exhaustion. I've done that before. So, and I did and that was a $750 bill. Make sure you don't over caffeinate. Make sure you hydrate after. So no more than 3, less than 10, not around 3. So be caffeinated, but not too much, if you know what I mean. Next thing you know, I have provided reviewing videos over here. I have provided multiple videos here for my subscribers, and they're built into categories like a 52 buy breakout over here, 52-week buy over here, pretty much all-day fade short, book of records, daily break, low floater with news, which you're probably going to be looking at. First green day bounce, first red day shorts, gap and go, gap up short, king count, kill candle. But for this strategy, which I will be making a new DVD course, just entitled A Pre-Market God. I haven't really thought about how to entitle my new course that's coming out. It's probably going to be something with only pre-market trading, because I have been trading a lot pre-market. So in this scenario, you're going to have to go to my website, click strategy review, and click pre-market new high buy, or I think I put it in a different sections. Buy the daily break. I put it right here, and here you can see some videos that I put in, not only the ones that are on YouTube, but many others, pretty much explaining my strategy and explaining other similar setups that have to do with pre-market new high. Number 2, you're gonna have to go review my course. I have a course called NASDAQ Rules, which applies to how to manage risk, when to trade, when to stop trading. Obviously, at 10:30 it gets a little bit interesting in what you do. To recent reverse splits, shorting pre-market. I mean, I really put in a 6.5-hour introduction to get you to understand like what you're doing, because once we get into the whole flow of things, you're not only going to trade 2 million floats, which we're going to cover this week, because that is what is hot right now, 2 million floats. You're also going to be trading 10 million floats, 20 million floats, 50 million, 100. Maybe you're going to trade some options. Maybe you're going to start short selling. You need like a basic fundamental DVD of 6.5 hours, and you're going to have to put some rules to it. These are my favorite rules that I have adapted to the market, which have served me quite well. And if you do not respect these rules, you're very much likely to fail. This is 95% of traders do fail, so do not at any time not respect the rules. Next thing you know, you're gonna have to pretty much join the chat room. Look for me streaming in the morning. I post a link into the chat room of me streaming. Sometimes I do on Zoom. Sometimes I put a private YouTube video in which only those that click into my Discord room are able to access it. Look at me streaming in the morning at 6:45, discussing the top gainers and looking at my scanners, especially the scanners underneath 5 million that have been tremendously hot. Now we're going to break down a couple of examples how to put everything together. Putting everything together is a lot harder than it looks, but I broke it down in just 17 different slides to get you to put a paycheck, get a taste of what's going to happen and how to put everything together. So in this example, we have Todd. Todd has been a really nice mover from I think it was, you can see so here at around 846 here. You know, I had my pre-market scanner over here. Let's see if I can put it over here. Todd, I had my pre-market scanner alerting me at 846.21. That this stock has just broke around $6 range. You can see the price that at 8 that Todd was at. 650 over here, it alerted me of this spike going on here. You can see that this stock had a very low float underneath 10 million. And my scanner, I mean, there weren't that many things on my scanner. There were about 6 stocks on my scanner, so it's very easy to just pick it out of the bunch which stock is hot. Next thing you know, you're gonna look at the news, which is pretty much I have everything with Thinkorswim. So, and then we're gonna look at the chart. So therefore, there was a tremendous opportunity in this hot that I did buy at around, I think I made about $3,000, and I was buying this at 580 when the downtrend broke. And it seems to me that it hit a high of $12. So if I were gonna hold my 3,000 shares, I could have made an $18,000 profit at 12. So if I just held just a little bit longer, but you just never know when this range has expanded. So therefore, you know, if you were gonna put like leverage a little bit, if you were gonna put like, you know, well, you can pretty much double sometimes your account in these movers if you just hold it a little longer than I do. I've been trading in the bear market, the bull market. Right now we're in a hot market, so right now we're seeing something that we have not seen before. So that is why you gotta show up. You gotta show up, because 6 to 12 doesn't happen every single day. And 6 to 12 on 3,000 shares, that makes 18,000 in a day. That's good. You have any $18,000 in a day? Because $18,000 in a day sounds really good. So Hot was my scanner, obviously at around 610 over here, and it was pretty phenomenal. And that is the one that pretty much hit. That was the second one after Kala. They had the same kind of idea. The news was very similar. We can go down in Kala over here. Kala first hit my scanner at around 6:12:46 a.m. at a price of, I don't know where it had, 15.25. 15.25. I'm not sure. So I am talking about this move over here. I think that. Let's see, 18, 19, 20. I'm not really sure, but this is the move that we're talking about here, where we broke $30. You can see so here that my scanner has picked up Kala right about here at around $29 as it was breaking this daily textbook breakout of $30 at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it hit 45. That is a 50% gain from here to there, and that is astronomical to see a 30% gain, 50% gain from 30 to 45. And you can use that broker, you can use those species, you can get the scanner, which I have provided, and you can take advantage of these movers. And I'll go discuss. So Kala was actually the first one that really moved. No pre-market activity. Most of the move happened during the day, so that's why you might want to get the midday scanner and midday gainers over there. You can see so over here this spike here, and that was a pre-market scan here at $30 to $45. And then Hot moved after Kala from like a 6 up to a 13, pretty awesome. And then on Friday we had something abnormal here called Pally. Pally hit my scanner around 7 o'clock a.m. You can see the timestamp here, 7:01:57, and that is the area that it hit around $4, $4.33. And being quick on these movers is very important. As you can see so here that the flow was around 1.37 million. Hot flow was around 126 million. Kala flow was 129 million. So you can see here in Pally, if I were gonna buy it as we got into the scanner kind of idea at around 433 over here, it hit a high of 7, which is pretty ridiculous to be pretty ridiculous too. So what I'm trying to show you guys, I'm trying to show you alerts that happened before around 7 o'clock that gave tremendous amount of volatility, and using it with hotkeys, using it with my scanner, using it with my membership, reviewing my courses, reviewing my review videos, you'll be able to make, just with a little bit of money, a lot of money. And a lot of money. I made a lot of money just waking up at 6:45 and being done at 9. And that is the amazement of my scanner, and amazement of my course, and amazement of my speed keys, and amazement of being in the right market. And right now, we are in a right market. The next one is Zillow here. Zillow hit my scanner around 812, another 2.5 million flow right about there. Zillow didn't really go that high, but it was a tremendous opportunity from 5 to 7, so that would have been a 50% gain. Zillow hit my scanner right about there at around 540, so when this spike happened, and then it hit about a 7, and that on 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares or 3,000 shares. It's worth the money, it's worth the investment, that's for sure. The next stock is DBGI, another stock that pretty much hit. This is just on Friday. We had huge movers on Friday. This is just discussing what moved last week for the past 3 weeks. I'm not talking about like what can move next week. We can have a lot more than one. We can have five movers at the same time. During the coronavirus push, in which everybody was just buying and buying and buying, we had insanity going on. So it's important to distinguish between. I was grouping my scanner during the hot market of all stocks that are only over 30% because I had too many stocks to look at. But you can see in this situation, DBGI broke this high here, 477 over here. So this spike I picked back up, and this spike I picked back up. So from 5 to like 6, that's a pretty hefty gain. So that happens just a matter of minutes. You can see so here the time span was around from 9 to 9:30. Pretty much went up 50%. The time span from Zillow was from around from around 8 to 8:30. So that's a 30-minute window. The time span of Cala was from like 6 o'clock to like 7 o'clock, like a 30-minute window of 50%. Pally, that was 7 o'clock up to around 8. The Pally went from 4 to like 7, and that was an 1 hour window. And Hop is pretty much from 8:46 over here, and I was buying it at 660, 650 during my live stream, and it was like a 2-hour window, which you could made multiple opportunities up until it hit 12. So let's look at the similarities between all these stocks. So the similarities between these stocks that only ran from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Actually, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Most of the similarities between these runners that happened lately are A, the float was under 2 million shares. The market cap was under 20 million on most of these plays. Most of these stocks did have news. Most of these stocks were heavily rotated, and they were preferably clean chart. These are the similarities that all these stocks have in just a three consecutive days. I mean, just because stocks are moving does not mean you will make money. Cala, I saw some people actually lose money just because you're in a hot market does not make you win money. Being in a hot market gets you the ticket to the prom, but you still have to perform. And this is where you become a member, join the chat room, join the live stream, review the courses, review the videos that I have in my pre-market new high, wake up early, pretty much have the scanners all set up, have the speed keys going, have the right broker all funded. All these things will get you to pretty much increase your bottom line for 2023. Trading is difficult. Trading is hard. Trading is not easy. Even now, after 14 years, it's still not easy because trading is like a box of Skittles. Sometimes you just get a lot of Skittles, and sometimes you just don't have any Skittles. So you never know just what color is the Skittles. You just know that right now we have a lot of plays. We're trading, and the range has increased and a lot of opportunity. Anyway, so the discount is in the link in the description below. We're running right now a Christmas sale. That pretty much is going to be over today. There's no sale right now on the scanners because these scanners are really unique right now. And that is all. I'm not seeing any other questions. Hope this was entertaining. Hope this was educational. I made a lot of money in the stock market. That will be that will be it. I'm very excited to be trading, and see you guys all in the next video. And it was amazing. It was amazing. 8K, 5K. I mean, I've been green. I'm getting a lot of subscribers, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody. Peace out.